Welcome to your yoga practice. Begin by coming down onto your back, reclining with your knees bent, and pause there for a moment. What does it feel like to lie down, not to go to sleep, but to just rest for a moment? The knees are bent to encourage the tailbone to be long and the sacrum to open and widen. And find your breath. And notice that the exhalation really supports the spaciousness in the lower back. Moving into nostril breathing and activating your ocean breath as soon as you can. And then finding your sankalpa, your intention. And just remember, you want your practice to be sensational. So certainly be aware of your sensations during your practice. But the reason that you want to be aware of your sensations is so that you don't have any pain at all in your practice. Find a way to be easy in your effort, never forcing or straining. And if you're not already in a constructive rest arrangement, then go ahead and let the thighs and the knees drop together and the feet walk out to the edges of the mat. Let there be some space for your arms to reach out, all the way out to shoulder height if that's available. In terms of space and in terms of your shoulders. And inhale deeply. On your exhalation, allow both knees to drop over to the right and really press to the outer edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left foot. Activate that left glute, draw the navel to the spine. So you're not just collapsing over to the right, you're moving with awareness, with intention, and hopefully feeling a lot of sensation, but no pain. Inhale, same thing. Use the outer edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left foot to bring yourself back to center as well as your core. And that glute releases and the right glute engages as you drop over to the left, activating outer edge of left foot, inner edge of right foot. And back and forth like that. Inhaling through center, exhaling to the right. Inhale through center, exhale to the left. Really keeping the feet awake here, alive and active, as well as keeping the core engaged. Always a little Uddiyana Bandha, and especially at the bottom of the exhale, a little Mula Bandha, lifting up through the pelvic floor. Over to the left, exhaling, pressing into the feet, whatever part of the foot has contact with the mat. And then inhale through center, and on this exhale, over to the right, we stay here. Really move your left glute over to the right and towards your left knee. And if it's available, place your right foot on the outside of your left thigh. Reach your arms up to the sky, keeping the shoulders moving into the mat. Fold your elbows. Place the thumbs, if you can, into the elbow creases, and let your arms and elbows and hands move over to the left. And then let your nose move in the same direction as your knees, over to the right. But let your eyes slide over to the left. So knees and nose to the right, elbows and eyes to the left, and breathe. Easy inhalation, soft exhalation. Keep those feet alert. Keep that left glute moving to the right and towards the left knee. And then letting that go, knees, right foot back to the mat, knees back to center, elbows back to center. And keep the elbows just where they are and let them go over to the right. So keep them arranged as they are, but let them move to the right. Let the knees move to the left. Left foot can come to the outside of the right thigh. Keep the feet active. Right glute now moving to the left and towards the right knee. And again, let the nose go in the same direction as the knees, but the eyes will slide over towards the elbows to your right. Easy inhalation, soft exhalation. Keep the navel moving towards the spine. And release. Elbows, knees back to center, left foot back onto the mat. And then pressing your arms down by your sides, fingers reaching towards your feet. Maybe walk the heels up a little closer, whatever gives you the most ease, coming into a bridge variation, although we're going to initially avoid the back bend. We're just warming up the core. Part of Santosha, contentment, is really always resting into your center. So when the core is awake and engaged, you're more able to be in your center. So as always, the feet are parallel or maybe even pigeon-toed, almost always in our yoga practice. So press into the four corners of the feet, or the three corners if that's easier for you. Always the big toe mound, the little toe mound, and then you can either work with the inner heel and the outer heel, or just work with the center of the heel, whatever works for you, and press the toes down, not to have hammer toes, but to have nice long toes. We'll work with that a little bit later, but go ahead and make sure the toes are not curling right now, that they're just making some nice solid contact with the mat. And inhale, let the tailbone move a little bit towards the mat. Release the core just a little bit. And then exhale, press the lower back into the mat and draw the belly button towards that lower back, pressing into the mat. Good. And then inhale, release a little, tiny back bend in the lower back. And exhale, lift the hips up. So this is what I mean about coming into the back bend, into the bridge variation, not the back bend. On the exhale, that way you just keep a nice long line of energy across the hip flexors into the knees. Move the knees away from you, chest towards you. And rather than coming into a back bend, try to stay straight as you can here. Inner thighs engaged, glutes engaged. Inhale, release. Let the tailbone just touch down for a moment. And exhale, right back up. Use your glutes to lift and open those hip flexors. Keep the knees moving away from you. Make sure through both these actions, inhale, release a little. And exhale, lift up. The feet are deepening down into the earth. That will also help you to really activate those inner thighs and keep the glutes engaged. The shoulders and the arms are pretty relaxed. Core is engaged, back is engaged. And one more, inhale, release. Exhale, back body strong. Front body, just resting into the back body for the most part, but you can support that a little bit by drawing the navel towards the spine. Good. And inhale, release. And rolling over to one side, whatever's easier for you. spiraling up here, moving to hands and knees. And then an inhale into your cow pose. Make sure you're really engaged here. You're not collapsing. Santosha is not about complacency. It's not about chasing happiness. It's about that easy effort. And then on the exhale, round the spine. And the same thing. Find that easy effort. Open up the back body. Lift the front body up to the sky. Let the head and the neck just relax down. And then find the place that's in between. Long tailbone, lifted belly, long back of the neck, nose points down. And tuck your toes under and lift your knees up off the mat. That's all. That's all we're doing right now. Just feel the arms get strong, the core engage. Good. Toes tucking under. You should feel a nice opening under the toes and in the fascia, in the soles of the feet. It's a dorsiflexion. And then let the knees drop back down if they haven't already. And walk your arms out. If possible, your hips will stay in line with your knees. And walk your hands forward as far as you comfortably can. And then draw the navel to the spine, but let the heart really start to drop down any amount towards the mat. So for a moment, just let the focus be on opening up the armpits, letting the head and the heart drop down. But once you've arrived at a place that is comfortable, not collapsing, no pain, a lot of sensation, but no pain, then really lift the navel up to the spine. See how much you can keep the heart dropping down. The head can actually rest on the mat. That can make it a little easier. You can feel free to put a block under your head if you need that. Right? Always supporting yourself, not trying to do anything. We're not in a competition. But see if you might lift the navel up towards the spine. Drop the heart down. Lift the navel up towards the spine. Drop the heart down. Good. So you can stay here working with that for another breath or two, or walk your hands forward, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up, and slowly lift the hips up, press back, coming into downward facing dog, and keep those same actions in play. So the heart will drop down towards the earth, armpits will open, but then you'll also tuck the ribs in, lift the navel to the spine. Make sure the hands and the feet are really grounded and they're supporting all of these actions. The deepening of the hands into the mat will help the armpits and the heart to open. And even if your heels can't touch the mat, really pressing the balls of the feet down, spreading the toes. Again, no hammer toes, nice long toes. And the heels dropping towards the earth will support the navel towards the spine. And the ribs tucking in, and the ribs tucking in, and the navel towards the spine will also support the feet moving towards the earth. And then as you're ready, step to the top of the mat. Again, bringing the blocks with you. And inhale, really find some space here between the tailbone moving back and the chest moving forward. Long spine, wide shoulders. And on your exhale, keeping the knees pointing straight ahead, drawing the navel to the spine, sliding your hips back. Try not to let the knees come forward at all. So if the knees start to come forward, then come out of it a little. Have a little bit of a higher squat. And always try to keep the spine long and the back flat. Okay, so inhale, straighten the legs as much as you can. Heart will float forward. Exhale, hips and heart both slide back. Knees trying to stay completely vertical to the mat. Good. Now on this inhale, see if you can keep that all in play, but raise the torso up. So the arms don't have to raise up, but raise the torso up. Keep the shins and the knees drawing back. Keep the hips moving back and down. Keep the navel drawing back and lift up as much as you can. The arms can come up. That's great. And then on the exhale, fold in. So maybe it's just a half fold for you. Maybe it's a full fold. Inhale, chair. Your variation. Exhale, forward fold. Your variation. Inhale, maybe just a little chair. Exhale, just a half fold. That's great. And then inhale, come up through your chair. And top of the inhale, stand up, arms overhead. Exhale, palms to the center of your chest. If you would like to try the tiptoes, feel free. Otherwise, do it with your feet planted. Inhale, arms sweep up to the sky. On tiptoes or not. And exhale, forward fold. Tiptoes or not. Lots of calf work here. Gastrocnemius. Folding in. Maybe still on the tiptoes. Lift the belly in and up. There should be a lot of opening. Hamstrings. Strengthen the calves. If you're still on your tiptoes, drop the heels down. And breathe. Samavriti. Even inhale. Even exhale. Inhale, float up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees any amount. Walk the feet back. If you like downward dog, this is a moment for down dog. If you don't, come to your knees. Find your puppy. So you don't have to keep as much of a lift through the belly in your puppy, but do just gently lift the navel to the spine. Make sure the head can rest on something. If you're in down dog, same thing, except the head doesn't have to rest on something, but let it be really relaxed, but keep the core lifting in and up, ribs tucking in. And then everybody find your way to a tabletop position. Exhale, find your way to your seat. Feel free to sit on a blanket. We'll sit cross-legged. If cross-legged is really uncomfortable for you, even with a blanket and other supports, you can sit in Virasana, hero's pose instead. But if you can, find a way to be content in Swastikasana. Do it. Inhale, lift and spread your chest. Let that lift come from the shoulder blades at the back of the heart. And exhale, draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, let the arms sweep out, reach up. And exhale, turn to your right. Let the arms sweep to the right. Left hand will come to the outside of the right thigh. Right fingers will tent back behind you. Feel that you're balancing evenly on both sit bones. Extend through both sideways. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Inhale, spread your chest. Lift it high. And exhale, stay here. Draw the navel to the spine. Find your even breath. Your still waters. And after your next exhale, inhale, begin to sweep the arms back, up and through center. And exhale, sweep them over to the left. Right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left fingers tenting behind you. And same thing, stay even through the sit bones. Oh, maybe rock back, get that other ankle in front just to keep things even. On your exhale, draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, lift and spread your chest. Exhale. Find those still waters. Maintain your even breath. And exhale, release. Back to center, no arms involved now. Let the arms relax. Find your way onto your back. We'll do that bridge pose that I promised at the beginning. So again, feet parallel or even a little pigeon-toed. Lie down with the knees bent. And this time, on an exhale, you'll lift up. But then on that inhale, draw the shoulders in. Find that back bend in the upper back especially. Keep a long tailbone, engaged glutes, engaged inner thighs in the legs. So even though you're in a back bend, you're still trying to keep some space through the lower back. Press the arms down, lift the belly up. Let the belly expand on the inhalation. And then softly exhale. Keep pressing down through your feet to lift up through your hips. Draw your chest towards your chin. Relax the skin on your face. Release your jaw. Let your tongue be heavy. And then if you like, you can come up onto your tiptoes. Walk your shoulders out. And vertebrae by vertebrae, lower down out of Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. And we'll end in a way, very similar way to the way we began. To the way we began? Yes, I think that's what I said and that's what I meant to say. And allow both knees to drop over to the right. If you like, right foot can come to the outside of left thigh. And when you're ready, release. If your right foot was on the outside of your left thigh, bring it back to the mat. Find your way back to center. Both knees over to the left. So just like before, keep the feet engaged. We're not going to bring the arms into it this time. We're really getting ready for Shavasana. Left foot to the outside of the right thigh if you like. So although we're keeping some slight engagement through the feet here, we're not going to activate the glute. Just getting ready to really rest and let go. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, bring both knees into your chest. Make some circles here in both directions. And then find your way into Shavasana. So if that means you need to sit up, get some props so that you can be completely content in Shavasana, then do that. If you feel completely content just stretching your legs and your arms out, that's fine. Just make sure that you have a V shape for both your arms and your legs. Palms are to the sky and toes are flipping open.